Ford cast iron cylinder heads. Availability of the aftermarket Ford heads is kind of hit and miss. World Products has a Windsor Junior 180cc and a Windsor Senior. Ford, of course, has their 351N that's been around forever, and Dart occasionally has a 180, 200, and a 215 head available. This is kind of an overview on all of your options as of today with the aftermarket heads. The Windsor Junior head is probably the most popular 180cc runner, direct from World Products, been around forever. It's a good quality casting, although it hasn't been updated from a machining standpoint and from an airflow standpoint in many, many years. So it leaves a lot to be desired as far as airflow is concerned. And we do our SST porting to it. It's in a ported application. Of course, we do our undercover porting to it. Some of the things on the cylinder head that we address are the combustion chambers. The chamber size on these heads is very small. It's about 3.950 across. We generally open that up to the 4030 bore. Port openings get addressed, short turn radiuses, and so on when we do the porting and the SST porting. And sometimes we'll do some disguise work on this particular head also. So this works real well on a lot of the circle track and mild race applications, running 2 barrels, aluminum intakes, headers. Very solid cylinder head once it's modified. Not a very good head in stock form as far as performance as compared to the comparable Chevrolet pieces. And the 351N Ford cylinder head. And this head has been around forever, probably 20 years. Sometimes it's available, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it just kind of disappears for years. And we're wondering if Ford's ever going to make them now, so they decide to make them again. Been through a lot of revisions over the years, and for the most part people send us their 351N heads to modify. They've got a lot of room on them, big thick deck on them. This has a 10-degree valve angle versus a 20-degree valve angle on most of your production Ford heads, leaving a lot of room to surface. The intake flange is real thick underneath the intake port. This is an SST ported cylinder head, so we move this one out to the 1262 Velcro size, and the chambers are modified, the intake ports are modified, exhaust ports are modified. We also do what we call undercover porting to these heads also. And it's about a 200cc runner head, so a little bit bigger than the 180 Windsor Junior cylinder head. I would prefer this 200cc runner head over the Windsor Senior cylinder head. It's just a better head from a performance standpoint. And then I mentioned earlier the Dart heads. Dart has cast iron heads that show in their catalog and so on, but sometimes they're just not available. There's a 180 cylinder head, a 200, and a 215 head. And if you can run the Dart cylinder heads, that's what I would recommend you run. The 180 Dart is going to work a lot better than the 180 World Products Windsor Junior cylinder head. It looks a little different on the outside, so if that's not a concern, it's a much better head, much better updated, much better machining. The 200 Dart head, quite frankly, would prefer it over the 351N Ford cylinder head. And this particular head is one of their 215 runner cylinder heads, and this is an awesome head for an unlimited small block Ford looking to make 600 plus horsepower. As with all of the other Dart heads, it's got pretty decent machining. It's got bronze guides in it, and of course you do have a couple machining options with the chamber size, but that just means they either sunk the valve job or didn't. But for the most part, we like the Dart head best when it is available. And again, just sometimes when they go in back order, it's like forever to get them. Like with our Chevrolets, we have a couple Ford blocks here, a 289 block and then a 351 Windsor. So as far as fitting an intake manifold to any of these 3 heads or any of the Ford small block cylinder heads, we can do that. We do have a couple of videos on fitting the small block Chevrolet intake. Fitting the Ford intake manifold would be basically the same type of procedure. We do things a little different with the Fords because there are there's a couple little tweaks you have to make when fitting the intake manifold versus a Chevrolet. So that's kind of an overview on the aftermarket Ford heads that are available. As with all of our heads, we can do your cylinder heads, or we can supply cylinder heads, that's no issue. And on the next time we talk about the Ford heads, we'll cover the 289, 302 small block heads, 351 Windsor, and the popular GT40P heads.